It's a contact sport. If he pulls him, I don't think...
At the same time, one arm comes around his bicep, one arm comes over his shoulder. You're asking for trouble. That has to be given. I don't see how it's not.
Certainly, I know what it's not. It's not a dive. It's not a yellow card. It's not simulation. And so, therefore, at that point, I don't think that he deserved that yellow card. And then you can argue, well, Morata shouldn't get in the face of the referee. I understand all that. But it all comes from the fact that I think the referee makes the wrong call in giving him a yellow card to begin with.
It goes back to the Nias challenge. It's slightly different for Everton when he was suspended retrospectively. When there was contact, when the arm came across, there's absolutely no doubt there was contact, but was it enough to make him go down? The answer then was no, and I think the answer here again was no. Now that was reviewed by VAR, not reviewed by the referee. So again, similar to recently, two eyes got to look at it.
Now, if Gab Marcotti was here, he would say this is the perfect example as to why VAR is working, because it's not a clear and obvious error, because you three can't agree on whether or not it's a penalty. So therefore, VAR got this one right.
Well, that's subjective, isn't it?
Well, this is the thing. It's not clear and obvious.
It's great.
The problem about it is that if the referee had given a penalty, also VAR would not have overturned it.
Exactly.
And that's where we get, are we getting the right call in the end? And that's what the give and take that I don't quite understand. If you see the video and you deem it that it's not a penalty, then see it as such. But then use the technology that you have available. I don't see why it has to be a clear and obvious error for the referee to actually go take a look at it. This is the point that I don't quite understand. You have the technology, let the referee take a second look at it.
And the question then becomes, what is clear and obvious when you have 100% agreement? We're not going to have 100% agreement on anything, on any call.
On most things, Shaq, come on. Not on most controversial things. I think we've sat
here. If a referee makes a mistake, you're not going to have 100% agreement that it should be overturned.
The West Brom Arsenal, everyone agreed that was a penalty. That shouldn't have been a penalty.
Fine.
Surely that's an example.
Right. But initially,
it's a sweeping statement.
Initially, Steve Nicol thought.
Oh, yes, but Steve Nicol doesn't count.
But that's my point. My point is, if you're only going to act when there's 100% agreement, and I'm not talking about justice power, that you have 100% or near enough agreement, then you're barking up the wrong tree, because people will always see things differently.
Yesterday, when the decision on the Leicester game. And people were saying this is a historic moment in English football.
Everyone was saluting VAR.
They're going, this is historic, like it was the greatest thing ever. Historic in English football. VAR's got the first ever decision correct with the Iheanacho goal. Everything's great. And tonight people are just going, VAR! VAR!